Okay, this is just my review on Playboys episode 10. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Rich Zay, sorry, and Sheik fight. I feel like Sheik was lunging too much in the fight as well. That's why Rich Zay was getting the upper hand because he kept like lunging forward at him, and instead of him to like lunge and swing at least or try to like throw him off his game, because you know that friends everyone has their own techniques. Friends like King Mal or Miles, sorry, throw something to distract the person and then he'll start like throwing punches as well. But I feel like if he was to lunge forward, it would make sense to do something as well to kind of throw Rich Day off his game. And obviously, a lot of the throws, a lot of the punches that he was throwing weren't connecting either, and he was kicking him a lot, yes. And I feel like there's no rules on fighting anyway, though, in regards to the kicks, but he was more focused on kicking him rather than throwing punches at him. I feel like the first round was pretty weak though, so I would give it to Rich Day because I feel like he had more punches connecting than Sheik did. Then obviously move on to round two now. I feel like round two, Rich Zay got it. Obviously, when they went onto the floor, because obviously Sheik made him tumble onto the floor, Sheik then kind of, I could tell he was getting angrier because he started choking Rich Zay if no one saw like his hand or whatever was on like his throat and stuff. In the end, but obviously still he didn't win that round. And you see how I mentioned the leaning before as well. That's why Rich Zay won round three as well, because he leaned too much into the first punch. That's why it really connected as well and stuff. I would say that Sheik put up a better fight though in round three than he did the first two rounds, even though I know, despite what he said about him being tied in the confessional, I think he used the last bit of energy to kind of do his best in the third round. And then what was spinning me as well is that Mal, Sheik, and Qatari were all talking about Metro saying, oh, he's this, he's that, but are you running him at the reunion? I don't think so. So let's all just, shut our lips and keep quiet, please. Because this energy you didn't have in front of him. When Metro Zay called out Sheik in the boxing ring as well, he just said like go bye type thing, but you didn't have the energy to fight him, that is the point. And then if it's true what Qatari is saying about Ken as well, the priorities are all messed up. Because Ken, how are you asking someone for clothes, then you're fighting them at the reunion, or not reunion, sorry, you're fighting them or trying to fight them at the show as well. It doesn't make any sense, or you have beef. I don't understand that. If it is true, priority should be being clothed before going on a show, or just even clothed in general before even going onto TV. Have some clothes in your wardrobe. But I feel like if it isn't true as well, though, I do feel like Qatari is being shady if that's the case. I don't know what type of wardrobe Ken has and stuff like that. Also, Robo. I'm so upset they're not showing Robo. Robo looks so good. He looks so good this episode. Like, like when someone's just sheer moistured up, looking all nice and clean, like, the outfit was 10 out of 10, and they didn't even show man enough. I'm thinking, I want him to either come back for a next season or I want him to be on like Deja Vu or something else where it doesn't involve fighting. I feel like he is like, he's more evolved than the fighting scene. Like he kind of gives like, there's not even luxury, but there's a level, there's a hierarchy to the boys on, boys, these are men on Playboys. And I feel like the hierarchy in regards to like bougie or bourgeoisie and whatever type vibe is Metro Zay, Rich Zay, Robo, I would say. I feel like I'm missing someone as well on there, but like they would be the people I could see transitioning onto like Deja Vu or another type of show where it doesn't really involve much fighting, more like dialogue and stuff, because they have character to them. Also glad that Landon went to the other house to run his fades as well, because there's been too many times where people are saying Landon's ducking fades over. So I guess he had to just, say I'm the host type vibe and go there and run his fades. So Sheik basically disclosed that production and security are there to protect Landon, basically telling her, oh, you can't touch this person, blah, blah. And it makes sense as well, because I feel like Qatari would have ran Landon. Obviously, they may have jumped him as well if that's the case, but I get why he would probably ask production to a certain degree. But for him to say he doesn't want to be touched at all is completely insane, because he's sneaking people as well. Just like, I'm not saying no one else in the house is sneaking, but he's also sneaking people as well. So that people want to get their lick back with you, regardless of if you are on it or not. They're like, okay, I'm seeing you now. I need that. And then Landon doing a house meeting at this other house, I just couldn't understand it either. Like, this isn't the time. Like, this really isn't the time for it. And I feel like a lot of time was wasted when they kept talking and talking and talking about what Landon was feeling or why he's here and all this other stuff. Let's just get to the fades, because this episode, there was too much going on. Like, a quick side note as well. Even down to the point of Rich Zay fighting Man as well. Yeah, he ran those two fades, or 2 rounds, or supposed 2 rounds anyway. But like a lot of it was just him drunk babbling on about something that we didn't need to know about, or him just like doing a rant for no reason. And of course, Landon won against Khalil for that round. I won't give him any like cool points, whatever, because at the same time you snuck him at the barbecue thing as well. And it's like you could have got a head up if you wanted to. And I get as well, oh, he's jumping someone or whatever. But I think it was after the jump, he's already walking away. You could have done it maybe when he was jumping into the fight. That would have made more sense, or sneaking someone himself. But when he's walking away, it doesn't make any sense. And he's not not to like shade Khalil a bit, but it's like in a sense like they're going on like he's the weakest person in the house. Technically, he doesn't have the same fighting ability as everyone, so yes. So it's like you're sneaking the weakest person at this point, or one of the weakest people, and it's like you don't get any cool points here. You're gonna win the fight, of course, but still, it just doesn't make any sense. And obviously, I get what Ma was saying as well, like oh, we don't know both sides of the story in regards to the Ivory situation and Khalil as well. But I would always believe the victim in any situation. I'm sorry, not sorry. Do believe that obviously in the blogs he's been saying, like he keeps saying, oh, he's joking when he's saying certain stuff, but he's alluding that, oh yeah, he was involved, whatever. He claimed he had the footage of what I saw on one of the pages, one of the blog pages, and I'm thinking if you had the footage, why didn't you just roll the clip then? It's given you had some sort of involvement in the altercation, regardless if you want to deny it or not and stuff. So I feel like that's just really side note. And obviously with his speech about I protect black women, whatever, it just doesn't align with what he's saying. Like the words are not matching the actions as well, because you're saying this, but then your friend, like, sorry, this is a quick side note as well. You're saying this, but you're friends with someone called Stunner Girl, who obviously, yeah, people love Stunner Girl and stuff, but she put a black woman in a cage. And she also got men to do stuff to the black woman in the cage. So how is that advocating for black women if you're doing that as well? It doesn't make any sense, but you know, each their own, I guess. And also, I feel like we're skating past the Rich Zay drinking problem as well, because they're saying that he orders 2 to 3 bottles of Casamigo in the morning and goes through that. He shouldn't be on Playboys. He should be going to an AA meeting. Like, what's going on here? Like, where is the safeguarding, I would say, as well, about his body and whatever and stuff, like his liver or whatever it is that gets affected when you have a lot of alcohol? Because that's insane that he's drinking that much and filming is like 5 days. So you're going through like, let's say 10 to 15 bottles within, no, 5 days, 3 bottles. Yeah, 10 to 15 bottles basically within the time you're filming. That's insane. Within less than a week. That's crazy. And I feel like Rich Day was just obviously doing it for camera time, like what Kashi said as well, because you're fighting, so, you know, let's turn against each other in the house. It doesn't make any sense. Well, you want to fight people. But then obviously some people aren't on your timing because you're drunk and thinking everything's a joke. When other people are sober and they're taking it seriously, or they're thinking, oh, I don't really want to fight you, whatever, and you're provoking them to kind of get them to that level. The only thing I would say, though, that fight with Rich Day and Man Man is that Rich Day got the first punch, obviously, because he kind of, like, caught Man Man off guard, even though he was looking, but I don't think Man Man believed that Rich Day was going to swing on him like that. So I would say that's the first thing. Other than that, Man Man tore him. Man Man tore him every single time. Then obviously, Landon, obviously the cameras went back to the house in regards to like the viewpoint we see from different houses and stuff. And then Landon lost against Qatari. Landon was giving kind of like sore loser. Yes, in the confessional, he was saying, oh yeah, you know, I lost the fight, whatever. But it was like, you then wanted to sneak him when security were there trying to take him one side and whatever. And obviously Sheik, that kind of caught me off guard as well, him sneaking Landon. But I get it as well, if you see your friend about to get snuck for no reason, especially if they won the fight, whatever. Yes, they may have lost the other fights, cool, but like, let them just get that win and take the L, man. That's really it. But Sheik obviously was backing his friend and snuck Landon. I want to see if next episode, though, we actually get a Sheik and Landon fight. Obviously for him sneaking him and whatever, and I see that Khalil injures Landon's eye as well. There's just a lot going on.